Hi everyone, Jim here. In this video we are going to learn how to draw this dynamic female character pose. I'm going to show you where I got the pose from and how I go from a basic mannequin to a finished sketch, and how to drop in however much anatomy you want to. So let's dive in. Now if I had to teach this video in 10 seconds or less, I would say study this and you have all the information you need to draw whatever pose you want. Okay, so there you go. There's your 10-second lesson. Take this 5-area mannequin, 1 for the head and neck, 2 for the chest area, 3 for the hip area, and you could raise that up a little bit like that, and then cut the leg area in half. Do the stick and ball method and the 3 masses of the mannequin, and you can just pose out any character you want, and then add on the volumes, the contour outside lines, and then add in your anatomy. So that's all you need to know. But that would be pretty superficial and for a beginner maybe not helpful at all. So let's go through this. Now back in April of this year, 2025, I decided to start using my comic collection covers for inspiration for creating videos. Now I grew up on Marvel comics and wanted to share my love for them with you through my tutorials. And I still haven't perfected how to do this, but I hope you enjoy this video and learn to improve your drawing skills and to improve your art learning skills. You need to learn how to find ways to teach yourself. So here's the comic that started this whole video. This is The Amazing Spider-Girl, issue number 1. I think a guy named Ron Friends did the art for the cover. So that's a really cool cover, very dynamic. He's got the background faded, the webs on top, and what an awesome pose that Spider-Girl is in. So I just thought, you know what, I want to do this drawing my own way, and then I want to add in a little more anatomy to it. So this is the cover that inspired this whole thing, and I might do 2 or 3 videos in this series. We're going to learn how to draw it, and then maybe we'll add some costumes to it in another video, ink it and color it and all that fun stuff. So you can drop comments and let me know what you're interested in particular. Okay? Now another thing that'll help you is I've got a whole series, my greatest hits video series on how to draw and do certain things. I have one in particular that might be very helpful for you called How to Draw Poses with Mannequins for Comics, beginner friendly. So you can just go to my channel and look that up, and it's a bit of a study, but it'll really teach you how to take this and use it to pose any character for yourself. Okay, so here we go. So this was one of the drawings I did. You can pretty much see I drew the mannequin in here, right? There's the mannequin, there's the pose. I drew the mannequin. You can see here some of the lines I drew in. Now this circle here is for a series of videos I did, what I call using the circle method, how you can drop like a roll of tapers or a big glass or something and use it to map out the characters. So that's another good video for you to watch if you're interested. I'm going to redo that series, the circle method, because I didn't do any voiceover, and I think I'll do that series again with a voiceover. Then through this drawing here, I decided to put in as much anatomy as I could, all the muscles I could think of, and then from there I decided what I would use in my finished drawing. So I'm going to make this one available online also, and you can see that the original drawing I just kept in some very basic chest anatomy. That was what really I wanted to get in this, was the chest and some leg anatomy, the adductors and everything in the legs and all that. When I get a drawing that I really like, I like to make lots of copies of it so I can ink the copies, color the copies, and not destroy my original pencil work. So I think this was the original pencil drawing here, and I did it on cardstock. So I wouldn't ink on this, I would do it on copies. Like here's a copy, here's a bunch more copies I made, and what I did was I copied it and then I erased digitally the anatomy on the inside. So now I can use this copy here to add costumes, to add anatomy, to practice over and over and over. And again, I'll make these available to you, okay? So, from sketch to copies to practice sheets, that's the way I like to do things. I just had all this stuff I've been dying to show you guys. So this is about as simple as it gets. You can see I made a copy of the drawing, and then you know, just put in a triangle for the hips. Those are the greater trochanters. The shoulders, which in this, because the head is so low, it's in front of the collarbones, and just basic arms. And so that's a real, you know, things like that are really, really helpful. And even when I'm doing advanced drawings, I'm always thinking of those basic mannequins underneath. So here is April 19th. I was just practicing this sketch again. You know, use the blocks for the hands and everything. Use the three main body masses, the head, the chest, and the hips here. So that was another practice drawing I did. Here's another one. You can see here, a lot of times I'll just make things really straight geometric lines, and that helps me plan things out. You can see the underdrawing here, the circle and stick method. There's my basic mannequin. Okay, this one here, a little more finished. You can see how I put in the knee joint here. Alright, nice serratus there. Okay, and I turned the chest a little more on this one. So this is the one I decided to do when I was actually doing the first footage, filming the first footage. So that's the one you're going to see in most of the video, me drawing out this one here and doing that stylized hair and all that. Here is the actual practice sheet here. So now you could draw in the anatomy. You can do as much or as little as you want. You can practice doing faces, expressions, all that. So this will be available. Hopefully you can see that okay. Simple mannequin, a little bit more advanced here. You can see I put the hips down where they belong. I kind of curve the spine better, and I show the hip, the knee, the ankle. I mean, it's here too, but this is a little bit more realistic. This version here, you can see I add the head, the chest, and the hip bone, the pelvic bone right in there. Okay, and then I add the legs. And then from there, then it's easy to put in the anatomy. Okay, and so you can do all that with pencil, and just, you know, remember to draw lightly so you can erase things. Okay, and then you can come up with this. Even in here, you can see the shoulder circle, you can see the lines that I put in for the body and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I showed it like this, and then here's another version here where you can see the anatomy, but you can also see the three body masses and like that. So I've done a whole bunch of variations for myself. Oh, here's another one. So this is a great practice sheet too, because here's the basic mannequin, and now you can draw the forms around it and as much anatomy as you want to. Okay, and this one does have the body outline like that. Okay, so here's the body outline with that super basic mannequin. So there you go. So you have all those variations. Again, I will make everything available to you. But I just love to do this. It's really fun to practice this way. For me, it is anyway. And I hope you take those sheets and get some enjoyable anatomy practice from it. I originally was going to call this series Jim's Enjoyable Anatomy. That's tricky to say. Jim's Annoyable Jim's Enjoyable Anatomy Series. That's what I was going to call it. That's funny. Could be Jim's Annoying Anatomy Series too. You can let me know. Okay, so this inspired this. Alright, here are my cardstock versions so that I can color on top of them, ink on top of them, draw, do whatever I want. These are all copies made of cardstock. I'm trying to learn how to color with alcohol markers, and if you just use regular paper, it just soaks in all the ink, and you can't blend at all. So cardstock is a little better. However, I do have some specialty paper for alcohol markers, and maybe I'll even try and do a version of this pose on the new paper. So I'm going to put that on my list. Okay, so how would I use this sheet here? I would say, okay, well, there's a neck. traps. Here's the collarbones here like that. And then the deltoid muscles, you know, the shoulder muscles would come here like this. Okay, and then let's put in the chest. Okay, the rib cage. It's going to be something like that. Right, and then the hips. They're going to be like that, and the actual greater trochanters actually slant down a little bit like that. And then you would have your legs coming out here. The knee like that. You would have down here to your butt. And come back up here like that. The top of the leg to the knee. Now, even though we only put one circle here, you got to understand that the femur has a big ending like this, and then the shin bone has a big ball like that. And when they fold over, there's actually one underneath the other. So your leg would fold like this. If this is the top part of the leg, there's the femur, and that goes into your hips right there. And then if your leg is folded underneath, here's your shin bone, and which is your ankle bone. And then the foot would be flat like that. And then the kneecap would be right there like that. So they sit on top of each other when the leg is folded, just so you know that. It's not what this video is about. Okay, and then whatever you know, however far along you are in your journey, that's how well you're going to be able to do the contour lines and do all the forms of the body, the outside edges of all the anatomy. Okay, so, you know, there's going to be the bicep, but the pec muscles, your chest muscles, come into and attach to the arm right here, right? You guys all know that. And then this goes up here underneath the arm like that, and then you have that little bit of chest muscle, the pec muscles like that, and it creates that little wing that you see. And then you have all the abs that go right down here, so you can just draw this little section like this, the abs. So whatever you know how to do, then you can start adding that in on top of this, okay? So that's how I would use that, all right? And whatever today is, October 20th already, wow. All right, so that's how I use that sheet. So you have this, okay? It's slightly more advanced than the one I just did, okay? Especially the face isn't, I don't have a goofy face on this one here, but it's the same challenge, right? Here you're going to have the hip bone here, the pelvic bone, and it actually rides up like that, okay? This represents the backbone, that's why it's curved. This is your neck, it goes out, then it comes in, and then it attaches right here to your pelvic bone right there. That's your tail bone right there. And then these actually come down like this. But I just did it this way because if you don't understand all of this, then this is just a good way to do it. And then draw the neck, right? And then draw the rib cage. So I always think of the rib cage like a shark mouth, or a football with a bit of a flat on top of it or something like that. So because the center of the chest would be here like that, then the mouth of this little sharky thing would be here, and there's the teeth. Or maybe it's, oh, what's that flower? The chomping flower? I forget what it is. Anyway, I call it the shark's mouth. Shark's mouth. And that's the chest and all the ribs. You know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the sixth one comes down and splits off into 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you have 2 floating ribs after that. Okay, so there's the rib cage, and then they connect here like that. And depending on what you know about anatomy, there's the 2-pack, then the 2-pack. Isn't that some wrapper or something? I don't know that history. So so that's the 2-pack, then the 4-pack. The 6-pack, at the bottom of the 6-pack is where your belly button is. The bottom of the 8-pack is right here where you can feel your hip bones on the front, and then the hip bones wind their way down to the netherlands down here. So that's the 8-pack right here, and then the 10-pack goes down to your groin like that. Okay? And again, deltoids. You know, if you don't know how to do arms, just do a straight line with a bump at the elbow. That's good enough. Right? Biceps. Elbows are always a little bumpy with the elbow bone. There's a little nub in here on the pinky side, right, and into the hand. This is a fist, thumb, and these fingers are in behind. Like, well, the thumb's in front of that finger. That's all I want to say. And then the chest muscles go right up to here, right up to there. Okay. And then you would have the coracobrachialis, the lats, and depends on if you want to show the teres major or the, you know, all that other stuff, anatomy in there. So again, just whatever anatomy you know how to do. Look at other pictures, get anatomy books, have them all in front of you, right? I like to learn anatomy as I go, come up with an idea for a drawing, and then if I don't know the anatomy I want, I just search the anatomy until I can solve it. And that's what, it's right in front of me, that's why I couldn't see it. That's what this one was all about. I just thought, hey, you know what, if I want to draw this now and I forget what to put in here, I can just start putting in all these adductors and even I can draw in the hamstring. Well, the gluteus maximus, you would see a bit of it here. Then you're going to see the hamstrings here, like this. So you can just basically copy. But every time you copy it and say the names of things, well, you're burning it into your memory, right? So. And, oh yeah, this is the gracilis, right? Yeah, number 4, right here. Can you see that little sucker right there? Oh, why I know that one so well is the gracilis is the tendon muscle that crosses the knee and attaches to the tibia, your shin bone. And when you're stretching, doing the splits or something like that, boy, do you ever feel it right on the inside of the knee. So if you're a stretching person, you'll know where your gracilis is. Okay, so there you go. How to use this one here, and then this one here didn't have the body outline. I guess this would be the easier one to go with first, and then you can add on the contour lines on the outside like that. And then lastly, from this, you could go to this, where you just have the body outline. So between using all these tools, eventually you should be able to draw this pose from memory. And again, just add in whatever anatomy you want. I think the big key here is this right here. The 3 masses, okay? These are hard masses. You can't bend them very much. You can't bend your head except for your mouth. You can't bend your chest except you can breathe in deep and, you know, that kind of thing. And you can't mess around with your pelvic bone. You can mess around with the hips and how the legs move from the hips, but you can't really manipulate this. These are hard masses. Everything else has a lot of flexibility to it. Okay, so there we go. So from there, I'm gonna let you guys, hopefully I'll be able to edit this properly and we can get right into drawing this, and you'll see all the footage of me drawing this. All right, there we go.